7. Alright everyone, so exciting. Oh. We are finally on part 7. I'm so sorry for not posting regular videos. One of the reasons I haven't posted a video in so long is because my computer's been down, but it's working alright, and I have better software to do all the editing. Thank goodness. To let you all know, I had a fantastic time in Indiana. Little disappointed we didn't stay a little longer, but I had such a blast, and it was such an inspiration. I really do hope that we get an Alps University here in Missouri for Special Olympics. I mean, it's the place in Indiana, the university in Indiana was just amazing. There was so many athletes there that intend to become better leaders, you know. And they only get 2 classes. They only do 1 class per day. And they do this like twice a year to get, to get their leadership improved. And there's not very many classes, but I'd say there's at least 8 max, which is nice. That's a good amount. But to only have 2 classes twice a year, for me, that's not enough. Because I love to learn. Anyways, I'm so totally sidetracked. Let's go ahead and start doing just a quick little recap of part 6, and then we'll get to reading. So I believe in part 6, it was pretty much the birth mom bomb with Marion. Garnette ended up telling her, and they realize, they're cousins, not sisters, Garnette ends up talking to a merman, surprisingly, and this merman happens to be the king's advisor. And the king's advisor is trying to find someone who's been somewhat discovered near the Virginian shore of a merman or mermaid. He doesn't know which one to be specific. So, which is a little mysterious, by the way. And then after that, she calls her aunt, and actually calls her an aunt instead of her usual mom instinct. But she does that at the end of the conversation, which is actually where we are now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start reading so that you can find out what happens next. Garnette sighed once more. "Yes, Mom, I'll leave it alone," she said. "But I am not letting them get away with this. I'll simply have to bury it somewhere." She thought to herself. "I'd better get going. I want to try calling Marion and tell her about the conversation between me and the merman." Kaylee laughed. "All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll probably have some information by then. I have a lot of phone calls to my aunts and uncles." "Okay, love you, Mom." "I love you too, Garnette." Miss Tarleton put down her shell and grabbed her purse. A tear rolls down her cheek. Kaylee knew her niece had called her mom by instinct. She knew it wouldn't take long to be called Aunt Kaylee. It pained her that it happened sooner than later. Kaylee shook her head and wiped the tear off. "You can do this. You've done it before, Kaylee." She opened her purse to find the day planner. Once again, Garnette put her shell down and brought it up to her ear. "Marion, are you there?" she called. The shell in Marion's apartment vibrated and bubbled at the same time. Marion glanced around absent-mindedly. When she looked at the shell, she hurried and picked it up. "Hey, Garnette." "Hey, Marion. Did you talk to Mom about that nightmare?" "I did. She's doing some research about my mom as we speak. Where were you? I tried calling when I finished talking to someone on the other shell." Marion gasped. Oh, I'm sorry, Nettie. Right after you changed shells, I heard this strange sound and ended up watching someone towing my van. Garnette hissed. The person in charge didn't know who I was and said I was trespassing. She ended up taking me to the compound to get my van back. She paid for the whole thing. Wow, I can't believe it. No kidding. Anyways, what happened? Who was on the other shell? She paused. Whoa. Didn't expect to hear myself say that. Garnette giggled. You won't believe this. I think I was talking to a merman. He was trying to contact someone. Apparently one of the merpeople saw me turn into a mermaid the other day. Someone is already trying to find me. She thought for a moment. Well, it's possible one of the sea creatures saw it happen and decided to tell someone. Gosh, Garnette, you're already popular. Maybe you should swim around and see if there are any merpeople. Since you are part of their race now, you might as well get to know them. I know I should. I'm just nervous to do it. What if they don't like me? Just be yourself. Be positive, sis. I know you can do it. You're right, she said cheerfully. I should be positive. I'll go out there first thing in the morning. Tonight I want to stake out in the tunnel that leads to those guys. Marion grew nervous. I don't think Mom would like the idea of you watching them. Just be careful, okay? It was quiet for a while. Garnette, are you there? It was still quiet. Scared yet, didn't I? Garnette suddenly spoke. Marion gasped in fright. I'll be careful, I promise. I'll talk to you tomorrow. How about after you get some unpacking done, you come down to the beach and visit? She smiled. I think I will. Talk to you tomorrow, Nettie. After that, Marion, Garnette, and Kaylee went to work. Garnette went back to the cave to take a nap, and then headed through the smaller tunnel for her stakeout. Marion worked on unpacking her things. After 3 hours, she took a shower and went to bed. Miss Tarleton started her research right after talking to her niece. She continued working on it for 2 hours. She then took a shower, watched some TV, and then went to bed. Even the merman Garnette talked to was busy. The merman, Ezra, talked to His Majesty about the shell conversation he had after it had happened. His Majesty was quite interested and wanted to know more about her. Ezra decided to respect Garnette and help her out. He talked to a lot of people and even asked His Majesty about churning up some storms with ships in the past 40 years. Some of the merpeople became suspicious about the questions, but did not spread rumors of what Ezra was doing. He was, after all, an advisor and friend to His Majesty. Garnette's stakeout was quite interesting. Since the stakeout was at night, her tail stayed as it was, making it hard for her to climb. It turned out the men she overheard before were not there, which made her think there was more to it than the eye could see. She learned how often someone would come back, what they did, when most of the guys were in the area, and when it was most quiet through the entire cave. It gave her an entertaining night. The next morning, one of Garnette's shells vibrated. She groaned and opened one eye, looking outside the big cave. The sun shined through the water again. The shell continued vibrating. She groaned again. Garnette picked up her head and listened to the sound. With a gasp, she hurried to pick up the shell. Hello? Good morning, ma'am, Ezra replied chirpy. She hummed in response. It sure is. A morning with good promises. Hopefully some nice rewards will come of it. She paused.
Who's this?
Oh, most apologies. I forgot to introduce myself yesterday. Garnette widened her eyes with excitement. My name is Ezra Ewald. Some call me Waldy, although I don't know why. What is your name? She hesitated.
My name's Garnette O'Connell, but you can call me Nettie.
Ah, lovely name. After the Garnet Stone, I suppose. Popular good self-esteem and well-kept friendships. It's also a stone of purity and truth, even a symbol of love and compassion. Your mother chose a brilliant name. He paused. You're wearing garnet jewelry for your birthstone, aren't you? Garnet's eyes began to fill with tears. She wiped them before the tears came down and spoke into the shell.
It's nice to talk to you again. Did you succeed in finding your merperson?
She knew he had not found her, but she felt asking him about something besides the help he offered her. Ezra sighed. Unfortunately, no. From the sighting, though, I do know it's a mermaid. Hopefully I'll be able to find her by the end of the day. Someone is very interested in meeting her. Garnette hesitated and thought for a bit.
Is there any chance we could meet today? I think I'm ready to tell you what I know about this mermaid.
She bit her lower lip as he gasped. Yes, that would be great. Where would you like to meet? And when would you prefer? He paused for a split second. Wait, I just remembered. I helped you out with your questions. Would you like to know what I learned? Her head swirled around.
Oh, wait, that's a lot of things to think about,
she said with a chuckle. Garnette thought for a minute.
Yes, I would like to know what you learned, but let me answer the other questions real quick. Would it be okay if we met near the shore of where this mermaid was sighted? There's an underwater cave below the lighthouse. I would like to meet there around 2 o'clock. Is that all right?
That seems appropriate. It would be best if we met somewhere you are most comfortable with. I'll meet you then. Garnette smiled.
Thank you, Mr. Ewald.
No thanks required, Miss Garnette. Now would you like to know what you asked for yesterday?
Yes, I would. But please, call me Nettie.
He made a face and changed the subject to the help she requested from him. It seems there have been a dozen storms in the past 40 years. I know it's not that many, but the king rarely gets mad like that. Only 3 ships were in certain storms. As far as asking everyone about someone disappearing, it has only happened once or twice. But that was over 100 years ago.
Well, there goes my theory,
Garnette thought.
Wait, it's still possible. If someone disappeared, then it's possible. When those 2 disappeared, was it during the storms?
She asked. Why, only one of them disappeared during a storm.
Do you know who it was?
I wish I knew. Only the king would know. He's ruled the 7 seas for almost 200 years now. Wait. He paused as he thought. I think you and I are on the same path. We're both looking for the descendant of a mermaid or merman. She widened her eyes.
Oh, gee, look at the time. I need to call my aunt. She's helping me and my cousin move. Would you mind if we finish this conversation later?
He nodded. Of course, Miss Garnette. I will see you at 2 o'clock. Garnette put down her shell and started breathing heavy.
Wow, that was close,
she whispered.
The king?
She thought to herself.
The guy I saw who has the stuffed animals. He said something about one rip in the king. Is it possible he's talking about the king of the ocean?
She thought about it a little longer. Soon she began to feel faint, so she curled up on the ground and took a nap. Crazy girl, keep taking naps. By the time she woke, it was close to noon, and she felt a lot better. Garnette took a long, deep sigh before one of her shells vibrated. She rubbed her eyes and picked it up.
Hello?
She murmured. Wow, you just woke up? I figured you'd be out on the rocks by now. Garnette's eyes widened.
Marion, hi, where are you? Did you bring any long shirts with you?
She asked, nearly crying out. Marion pulled the shell away from her ear. Calm down, Garnette.
I'm out on the rocks at the top.
I didn't bring any shirts, but I did bring a towel.
Oh, good. I'll be there in a minute.
She put down her shell and swam out of the waterlogged cave. She soon saw Marion out on the edge of the beach. She waved to her and kept swimming. After Garnette reached the rocks, she tried climbing. Sheesh, Garnette, let me help you, she said, reaching down.
I've got it. I've been climbing like this since yesterday.
She reached the top, almost breaking a sweat.
Wow, didn't think it would be that easy.
Marion laughed.
I guess you're getting used to being a mermaid.
She thought for a minute.
Here, use my towel. You can dry up.
She handed it to her. Garnette took the towel, turned on her back, and patted her tail dry. She turned on her stomach and let the sun dry the rest.
Thanks, Marion,
she said, putting the towel aside. She smiled. Her cousin smiled back. It's going to take some time getting used to this, she murmured. She was about to take the towel back, but Garnette stopped her. Garnette chuckled.
You're not going to believe this, but my tail is almost dry.
What does that mean?
Good grief, Aunt Kaylee didn't tell you? Just wait.
A few minutes later, her tail was completely dry. The tail shined brightly as the moon and turned into legs. Marion gasped with excitement.
Oh my gosh,
she whispered. Garnette giggled and wrapped the towel around her.
I told you you weren't going to believe this. What do you think? It's incredible. You can come out whenever you want. Oh, now I'm jealous. I wish I was a mermaid.
Oh, Marion, if she only knew. Garnette laughed.
Careful what you wish for, cousin. Besides, cooking is your dream. You don't want the rest of the state to wonder where the best cook is.
They laughed. Very funny, Garnette.
Did you bring anything else?
Marion pulled out a bucket.
I brought this to make a sandcastle.
She paused and glanced at Garnette. Her cousin had this eager look, like she had a brilliant idea.
But it looks like you know a good use for it. Do you want it? Oh, would I? That would help out with what I'm doing tonight.
It doesn't have to do with those men, does it? Marion's eyes grew wide as Garnette nodded. And I'm going to stop there. Dun, dun, dun. I hope that was revealing enough for you. We still have a lot of the book to cover, so keep an eye out. Because we know with the when I first read this book to you all, it took pretty close to 27 videos, close to 28 videos actually. So I'm going to try really hard to make sure I can at least make it to 25 if possible. Even though I want to make as much videos as I possibly can, I like to have a certain amount of limit, so who knows. I'm excited. Anyways, I look forward to reading the rest of this book to you. I'm excited. I hope you're all excited as well. And I'm still gonna be keeping those self-plugging links down below. Make sure you check them out. I got a Blog Talk Radio. I got a radio show on Blog Talk Radio. I got my own Tumblr, my own Vine, my other YouTube channel, which is connected to Google Plus, and I'm actually starting something new on that channel. Even though I'm not getting any views on it right now, probably because it's something old. I've already got all the recordings of that particular project done, so who knows if I'm actually going to put them up anyways, since I'm not getting very many views on the first one. I'm not sure, but I'll keep you all posted about that. If you have any ideas of what kind of game I could play on my other channel, on my other YouTube channel, that would be great. I mean, I only have a PC, and I don't know how to do the recordings on my Wii or my TV yet. I'm still a newbie when it comes to that stuff. So, but still, please comment below, like, subscribe, do whatever you want. As long as you're happy. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. Woo! Okay, we got that covered. So, let's find out what happens next in part 8. This is the Esperanza 2 for 3, signing out. Hope you all have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night.